Welcome back to Rob Schmitt tonight. It seems Putin is still playing everybody like a fiddle. The experts out there are saying the crisis between Ukraine and Russia is far from de-escalating, and the situation could deteriorate at any time. Remember yesterday when everybody got all excited, thinking that, it was all over? Well, this follows an announcement yesterday, of course, of a 10,000 troop withdrawal that people got very excited about. The Russians released video that purportedly showed tanks leaving annexed Crimea, where they've been for a long time. Western leaders, though, dispute the claims that tanks are leaving Crimea and claims that Russia is drawing down at all. The British Defense Intelligence Chief releasing a rare statement earlier today saying, contrary to their claims, Russia continues to build up military capabilities near Ukraine. This includes sightings of additional armored vehicles, helicopters, and a field hospital moving towards Ukraine's borders. Russia has the military mass in place to conduct an invasion of Ukraine. As you can see here, the region is surrounded on three sides by groupings of Russian troops. It's not good to be in Ukraine right now. Moving 1,000 here or there is not really significant when you've got 150,000 troops and a lot of heavy machinery. In fact, some anonymous reports indicate they've actually added 7,000 troops along the Ukrainian border. The NATO Secretary General weighed in earlier today.
They have always moved forces back and forth. So just that we see movement of forces, so battle tanks doesn't confirm a real withdrawal.
Joining me now is Senate Homeland Committee member James Lankford of Oklahoma. Senator, thank you so much for coming on. Good to see you. Over the last 2 days, we've gone from war is imminent to troops are withdrawing to troops are building back up. Where do you see this tonight?
Yeah, we really don't know 100%. Obviously, no one can get in the mind of the dictator Putin and what he's really planning to do. This whole focus is probably on Putin himself to be able to make sure he stays relevant. I think people lose track of the fact that Russia's a giant gas station, is really what they are. The economy of Russia is not even as large as the economy of Texas. And so he is always trying to be able to show, hey, I'm a big role player, when Russia's really not a big role player. They're just a nuclear power, and they're constantly threatening the people around them. So a lot of this focus is about Putin staying relevant on the world stage, but obviously he wants to be able to make sure that he's exhibiting control over his neighbors as well.
What is it that, I mean, we talk about this a lot, but, everybody talks about how the economy of Russia is so weak. You just said they're not even the size of Texas. What are they doing wrong over there? Because obviously they've got the people know how to work, and obviously it's no longer a Soviet state anymore. I think they've tried to move on from that. But what is it that they're inefficiently and effectively doing?
So they're an oligarch-run state. Basically, they have a few wealthy individuals at the top, and everyone seems to work for them and is suppressed underneath them. So if you're one of the wealthy oligarchs, it's good to be you. If you're not anyone else, you have no chance of really rising to the top. So the workforce is not really empowered to be able to grow. In a free market economy like ours, if people want to dream, do it, they go do it, and can succeed. In Russia, good luck with it. You've got to be married to the right person or be in the right family. You really got no shot, so there's no incentive to grow and go.
That's exactly right. We should put that in an ad and play it for the midterms for all the people that are screaming for socialism in this country. I love it. The U.S. Navy released a statement earlier confirming reports that Russian planes are intercepting U.S. aircraft over the Mediterranean Sea, saying that while nobody was hurt, these kind of interactions could result in miscalculations and mistakes that lead to more dangerous outcomes. What is this about?
Yeah, it's Russians trying to be able to intimidate us to be able to back off. Obviously, we've got additional NATO forces, additional American forces that are in the region. If Russia decides to be able to roll into Ukraine, people forget Poland is right there as well. Then they're about a day's drive right now, Russian forces are, from Kyiv, but they're also a day's drive from Warsaw as well. And so it's entirely likely for us to be able to be there to say, hey, Russia, we're paying attention to what you're doing. If you plan on just rolling through NATO, that's not going to happen. And so it is important that we continue to be able to maintain that alliance. A land war in Europe, we have seen that movie before, and that's a bad scene. So sanctions being out, being able to push back, making it very clear to Putin is a good idea to be able to get that. But Putin is trying to be able to flex his muscle by flying his aircraft. What our pilots call in an unprofessional way is their term of art on that towards our aircraft. And our aircraft and our pilots are staying true to who they are.
Real quick before we go, everybody said Wednesday, right? That was the big word. You heard Wednesday, Wednesday, Wednesday. It's now Thursday at around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning in Ukraine. It doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Tonight was supposed to be the night.
Yeah, ultimately, no one really knows. Putin initially announced that they were going to do war games and exercises until the 20th of February. He's made a public announcement. He's going to come to that area on the 20th and to be able to observe his troops on that. We have no idea. Obviously, what they're really going to do, no one can know. But again, we've seen this movie before, the Russians. And don't forget, for the people of Ukraine, they're literally going to bed tonight listening to live artillery fire and the exercises that are happening right on their border all around them. So they understand what this threat really looks like.
Something else. Thanks for laying out for us. Senator James Lankford, appreciate it. Good to see you.
You bet. Good to see you.